Bonehead move. I did a bonehead move, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Why? Maybe I'll learn something from it. Even after all these years, I still do stupid things every once in a while. I'm not thinking. I'm thinking, but sometimes even when I'm thinking, it still goes the wrong way. So let's paint the picture. To stay out of binds like this, I'm showing you the bind that I got into. I'll explain it, and then I'll give you the best solution I know how and show you what I did. Watch this. Drain it on the lake sometimes is not fun. This weekend, fished a tournament on Rayburn. Got out there, we caught fish. This is basically the end of the day. We call our last one. Just out here. Just out here. Out here. We caught our last fish, and so we've been fishing all day long, trolling motor, batteries, live wells on, everything. It's a trailer event, so now we have to go run back to the ramp and then drive to the weigh-in with all our fish and the live wells, all that stuff.
Why are you still on? Oh yeah.
In these tournaments, we're allowed to fish to a certain time. This time it's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock came, we stopped fishing, and we were about to get ready to leave, and I just kind of like was looking on the trolling motor, and I was telling my fish partner Russell, I was like, hey, by the way, when it's 3 o'clock, just go ahead and pick up your trolling motor if your live's good. And the reason is there's nothing worse than it being like 3 o'clock, and then you look out there and you're like, oh, there's another one, right? And that's what I was laughing about. I was like, hey, whatever you do, it's just not like out of sight, out of mind. Like pull it up, that way you don't even, there's nothing worse than going, oh, there's one more I could throw out, right? We were laughing about that. It happens a lot sight fishing when you have to leave a sight fish, right? Because it's the same time, but basically live scope's kind of the same way. So we're running in, as you tell, it starts to rain. It rains the entire time. The entire time back to the boat ramp, entire time all the way to where we were about to go weigh in. I had my live wells going the whole time, went and weighed in our fish, had like 15 something pounds, got done, drove back home, decided not to fish the next day. We were supposed to stay in practice, but it was gonna rain all day long. And we were just like, man, we just weren't ready for all that. So I go home, put the boat in my shop, at a new place, and things are always still in a mess, like things are gone. And I looked up and I'm like, where's my other extension cord? And I had left it out somewhere else. And so I only had my one extension cord where I plug in my boat. Well, I was looking around going, my boat is just, I mean, it rained the whole way home, just soaked. And I'm like, man, I'm just gonna put a fan on my boat. I probably won't go fishing until Monday. So I hooked it up, put the fan on the boat, and started drying everything out. I was like, man, after tomorrow, I'll wake up, go charge my boat, and then put the fan back on. Well, it rained all day long. I never went out to the shop. It was a miserable day. I forgot, just totally forgot. So I was hell bent on fishing Monday, and it was dead calm. It was supposed to be a nice day after spending all those days when it was like 30 something degrees outside. I was like, man, I'm gonna go out there. I looked out there, when I went to the shop, I'm like, oh, I didn't charge it. But I was like, man, I got these lithiums, they'll last forever. I'm not worried about my trolling motor batteries. Like, they'll last 2 days for me. My cranking battery, I was a little concerned about because we used it a lot without driving the boat on the final day, like going and weighing in those fish. They spend a couple hours aerating and stuff like that. And I used it all day long. I was gonna come out here and I was like, man, I'm not driving around, so I'm really not gonna get that charge from driving. But I was like, man, I'll just put them all on sleep mode except one, and I'll be fine. And I was fine for quite a long time that day, for like 4, 5, 6 hours, maybe 5 hours. And my alarm went off. I'm like, that's all right. I'm right next to the boat ramp. I'll just troll in, no big deal, right? I don't know what I was thinking, because this is what happened. Yeah, now I'm stuck out here The batteries on my cranking battery went dead, which I'm like, yeah, I figured they would since I didn't charge them and I've been out here all day long. It runs the Garmin trolling motor. When I say it runs it, it doesn't give power like your trolling motor batteries do, but it runs just the head and the foot pedal. It's hooked up to the 12-volt battery. It runs it. It doesn't take much power to use. Here's why. If your batteries ever go dead, like they just did, they have a backup. It's the simplest backup ever. 2 AA batteries. That's it, 2 AA batteries. I've got 2 AA batteries in there. And they're not working. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. No problem. I got a spare. I got 2 spares. Go in there, get my spares. They don't work either.
I know. AAA or AA? Yeah, I know I have AA and I have 4 of them in here and none of them work. Yeah, because I didn't charge it the other day and I'm like, it doesn't matter, man. Like I'm not driving anywhere. And I was like, man, my trolling motor would be fine. Now I'm like, I turned all my graphs off except one. Yes, how? I can't get nowhere. Yeah, I know. I'm about to buy like 10 batteries and put them in here because I'm tired. Like, yeah.
And I'm like, great, I got 4 AA batteries and none of them work. So, guys, I can't crank my motor. I can't do the trolling motor. I am literally just sitting out there. It's dead calm and I can't do a thing. And I'm like, great. Well, someone will drive by. Hour goes by. No one drives by.
You'd have to drive out to this road. I mean, if you don't hear from me in like 3 or 4 hours, you might. All right.
And there's no wind, and it's the wind's like going a half mile an hour. So I sit out there forever, called up people, did whatever, and I finally, you can see how far, it took me an hour to float to the bank, 100 yards. Flipped up there with the hook, hooked onto the bank, pulled myself over. Thank you, Sunline, for not breaking on me. It's like, man, you know what? There is an RV park up here, but I don't really like walking through private property, right? But I was like, man, I'm just gonna go find a piece of wood, a 2x4, something, and just an old 2x something and just use it as a paddle. I can just paddle back if I have to. I look around, can't find anything, and I'm like, great, I'm gonna have to go up to this RV park up here and hope I don't get shot by some landowner wondering why I'm walking around. Walked up there, the second RV I went to, nice lady. She's like, oh yeah, here you go, I got AA batteries. So she gave me 4 of them. She's like, I ordered them by the hundreds, here you go. So I thanked her, got back, put the batteries back in there, instant fix. Now I can just troll back. It took me like 3 to 4 minutes to troll back, no big deal. And I was just, the whole time I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
All right.
My wife was even on the phone going, I'll come out there and do this. I'm like, no, it'll be all right. This isn't horrible. I called some buddies up, no one was answering, and I was like, it's fine. I'm like, if you don't hear from me for a couple hours,
all right. Well,
then maybe you might have to come back out here.
Comes out here. And so if your batteries go bad or down, 2 AA batteries, you can put them in there and you can control everything. I had 2 in there. They were dead. I had 2 extra ones. They were dead. So, nice lady, she gave me 4. So I got 2 more backups. They'll last forever. Whatever. Stupid me. Here's the funny thing. Yeah, I wasn't worried about it, and it just got sunny. It hasn't been sunny in days. Here's the bad part. Here's what I was not thinking about. I still need my graphs. Even if I was like, even if my batteries go dead, it won't, or I could just troll around. Not without graphs. Not if I wanted a live scope. So now I'm headed in, pissed off, been waiting all day long for the sun to come out. Perfect day. I'm an idiot. So anyways, long story short, it goes in your foot pedal. It's easy. Popped them in there. I'm back on the water. I can get in. That's not a big deal. But yeah, dummy.
Then right after that, you know, this guy finally drives by. I don't think he realized I got my trolling motor fixed because it seemed like he was trying to push me back towards the bank. You know, like with his wake. So I appreciate that. That was also a nice little caveat onto my wonderful day. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I help people out all the time at the boat ramp. I can't tell you how many times I've done this, of loading a boat without power to your big motor. So that's what I was gonna have to do. I've been waiting for it to happen to me. It just hadn't happened to me in forever. And I don't really ever want to film someone else, right? I don't want to film someone else when they have problems. So I was like, oh, guess what? I'll film this. I'll give a little quick tutorial on how to do that. It'll save you some time and effort, I promise you. So I'm about to do that video next. But yeah, this was my bonehead move of hopefully of the year. Hopefully if this is the worst one I get into, then that's a positive. But yeah, thought I'd share that with y'all. And then I was like, you know what? I'm coming out here tomorrow because I didn't get my full day today. And that's what I did. Went out there the next day as well. I do appreciate my Impulse lithiums. They lasted a very long time considering I didn't exactly charge them very well or at all. All right. See y'all.